For millions of years, the galaxy had watched empires rise and crumble. None endured as long as the Dorvathian sovereignty. Their silver war fleets crossed every known sector, enforcing their rule over 200 worlds. They claimed to bring order and peace, but everyone knew the price: obedience, absolute and unquestioned. Humanity had joined the wider galactic community only 50 years earlier. Earth was a quiet, overlooked world, home to a loud, emotional, often chaotic species other civilizations found amusing or irritating. But humans worked hard, and soon their colony ships spread across a dozen systems. They raised families under alien skies, built farms on red soil, and carved out simple, hopeful lives far from Earth. That hope shattered in a single morning. No warning, no ultimatum. The Dorvathian fleet appeared above New Haven, a thriving human colony of 15 million. Families were eating breakfast. Children were walking to school. Workers were beginning their shifts. Then the sky turned white. Orbital cannons fired in perfect synchrony. Cities evaporated. Mountains melted into glass. Oceans boiled dry. In 3 hours, New Haven was gone. Every voice silenced. But the Dorvathians didn't stop. They moved to the next colony, then the next. Aurora Station, Red Frontier, Paradise Falls. 8 worlds burned. 22 billion humans, nearly half of humanity living beyond Earth, were killed. While the entire galaxy watched, every screen broadcast the destruction. Human cities collapsing. Human parents holding their children as fire rained from the sky. The Dorvathians wanted the universe to know exactly who ruled it. When the final colony fell, a Dorvathian commander appeared on every broadcast, calm, almost bored. "This is the cost of expansion without permission," he said. "This is what happens when lesser species forget their place." Earth watched the massacre helplessly. No defenses strong enough. No allies willing to intervene. Every human on the home world felt the same suffocating grief, the same ocean-deep rage. For 3 days, Earth was silent. No speeches, no declarations, only mourning. On the 4th day, a single broadcast came from Earth. No background, no flags, no council of leaders. Just one woman in a simple military uniform, standing in front of a gray wall. Her voice was steady. Her eyes were colder than space. "You have killed our children," she said. "And now you will learn what monsters look like." The message ended. Across the galaxy, species shifted uneasily. The Dorvathians laughed. One grieving human making empty threats meant nothing to an empire that had crushed rebellions for 1,000 years. But within a week, their confidence began to crack. Dorvathian supply ships vanished. Outposts went silent. Scout vessels disappeared without leaving even debris. Distress signals repeated the same fragments. Ships emerging from nowhere. Weapons their sensors couldn't read. And sudden static. A full battle group of 40 warships was sent to investigate. What they found in the Outer Veil sector was not an enemy fleet. It was the floating wreckage of their own ships, torn apart like scrap. Then the humans appeared. Not from hyperspace, not from shadowed asteroids. They slipped into existence from beneath the fabric of space itself. Black vessels, smooth and silent, with no detectable engines or heat signatures. They moved like living shadows. The battle lasted 17 minutes. Dorvathian weapons fired in every direction. Missiles, plasma, kinetic rounds, none could lock onto the human ships. The black vessels danced through the fire as if they already knew every trajectory before it was launched. Then they struck back. Blue energy sliced through shields like paper. Hulls crumpled inward, crushed by invisible force. To Dorvathian ships survived long enough to flee. What they carried back to their empire was a simple truth. Humanity was no longer the weak, noisy species from the edge of the galaxy. Something else had risen in its place. Earth had become something new. While the Dorvathians scrambled to understand what was happening, humanity vanished from public view. Every colony, outpost, and station withdrew behind an iron wall of silence. No trade, no diplomacy, no transmissions. Only the black ships moved, striking military targets with impossible precision. Never civilians, never random, always deliberate. What terrified the Dorvathians most wasn't the destruction. It was the silence. No demands, no threats, no speeches, just the quiet certainty of vengeance. On Earth, every factory, lab, and shipyard had been repurposed for war. Scientists abandoned peaceful research to build weapons based on theories once dismissed as fantasy. Artists traded their craft for design tables. Teachers trained children in strategy and resilience. The entire species moved with one purpose, driven by grief that burned into resolve. In Antarctica, buried beneath miles of ice, Project Silence took shape. Humanity had cracked the secret of quantum displacement, a method of moving through space without crossing the distance between 2 points. The black ships used this technology, slipping through dimensions unseen by any Dorvathian sensors. But the ships were only the beginning. In the asteroid belt, miners hollowed out entire rocks to create hidden fortresses. Factories built drones by the thousands. Stockpiles were prepared for a war meant to last generations. Humanity was not just retaliating. Humanity was preparing to change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. The Dorvathians tried to counter. They strengthened borders, expanded patrols, and built new detection systems. None of it mattered. Their technology could not see what existed half in another dimension. The first major counterstrike happened at Korvax Station, a massive military hub housing more than 100,000 soldiers, protected by shields, cannons, and 3 full fleets. It was believed to be impregnable. The humans didn't attack from outside. They were already inside. Infiltration teams had slipped onto the station weeks earlier, hidden in supply crates, disguised as maintenance drones, even embedded as digital code within the station's systems. When the signal came, they struck simultaneously. Explosions tore through the core. Life support failed. Defense systems turned on Dorvathian ships. Human strike teams moved like ghosts through smoke-filled corridors. Outside, black ships cut off every escape route. 4 hours later, Korvax Station was gone, completely destroyed. But the humans left a message, carved into the metal of the command deck in 10-foot letters. For the 20 billion words spread through the galaxy like wildfire. The once mocked species from a blue planet was dismantling the oldest empire in the galaxy. Piece by piece, desertions spread. Fleets refused assignments. Officers questioned orders. The Dorvathian sovereignty had been built on fear, and now that fear was turning inward. Humanity had become the new nightmare. They had been pushed to the edge of extinction, and in the void that followed, something relentless had awakened. The Dorvathians wanted to teach a lesson. Instead, they received one written in silence: vengeance and fire. In a galaxy of predators, humanity had learned the final truth. Survival belongs to the apex hunter, and the debt of the dead would be paid in full.